What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm gonna walk you through every single piece of audio gear I bring with me to a wedding. I always get asked what is the most important gear in my bag, and before I even think about my cameras and lenses, I start talking about my audio. Without audio, your wedding films go from a cinematic film to a beautiful slideshow. Audio carries your film. Think about all the things that audio brings to life in a wedding. You hear the officiant marry the couple, you hear the vows of the couple, you hear the speeches of friends and family who are professing their love and appreciation for the couple. And even small in-between moments like during a first look where you're far away and the couple is whispering and crying together. That is the audio you want in your films. Audio helps bring visuals to life. And if you want to improve the quality of your film, start focusing a lot more on audio. And it's been said that good visuals cannot make up for horrible audio, but great audio can always make up for bad visuals. So in today's video, I'm gonna walk you through what every piece of audio gear we bring to our weddings. That's always in our kit at all times. And the principle here is to always be prepared for any situation that you run into. It is better to be over-prepared and have a few more cables than you might need than to run into a situation where you can't do your job solely because you don't have the right adapter or cable. Imagine if a bride came up to me and said, "Why isn't there any audio of my ceremony and my vows?" And I said, "Oh, well, your DJ had some weird port and I didn't have the right cable for it." Well, that's not her problem. It's not the DJ's problem. That's my problem. So be prepared. All the audio gear I'm about to show you packs beautifully into our Peter McKinnon backpack. I will link all of my gear below, from the audio kits, the cables, to the backpack. So if you want to check out all of the things I'm about to reference, we'll link everything below. I'm gonna work through our audio kit list. This is in no specific order. It's just what I have in front of me that I'm gonna show you and talk about why I use it and when I use it. So the first piece of gear we use is arguably the most expensive piece of gear, and it's the Tentacle sync system. This is one Tentacle sync microphone. A lav mic plugs into the top here, but the beautiful thing about these is that they're small, they're compact, they're black, they can fit into a suit coat pocket or wherever, clip onto the back of a belt. They come with little rubber bands that you can color code, but the reason these are so expensive is they also come with a software, an app. These can sync to your app, you can rename the files from your app, control the gain levels, listen to playback, monitor the audio, and start and stop recording from your phone. That way, if the groom is at the top of the ceremony and you forget, oh my gosh, did I hit record on his mic, and you don't know, pull up your phone, hit record on the app, and they start rolling. So obviously you're gonna pay for that luxury. Now, the main purpose of the Tentacle sync system, what makes them so worth it, isn't the mic itself, it's the ecosystem you buy with them. So here's the mic and here is the sync system. Now the sync system is a separate device that plugs into your camera and syncs with your time code. And for those who don't know what time code is, we're not gonna go into it in depth today, but essentially it is a dream for those of you who wanna edit more efficiently, because you can pull up all of your clips in your software from all the cameras you're using, all the audio devices you are using, hit sync by time code, and it will organize everything chronologically. But this thing is $400, and it comes with a little kit, but essentially you're buying this and a cable for $400. Yes, you can use these without this, but in my opinion, buying these solely to just be a lav mic isn't super worth it unless you are using the Tentacle sync system. In fact, I have one plugged in right now. It's the audio you're hearing is coming from this other Tentacle sync system, this lav mic, and it's clipped on right here. That's the audio you're hearing right now. Eventually, hopefully by the end of this year, the Tentacle sync system will replace all of our other lav mics because they're just so much easier to use. Oh, and they're USB-C chargeable. The next lav mic in our bag is the Tascam DR10L Pros, which comes in this little pouch here. Now the Tascam looks a lot like the Tentacle. It's very small, very compact, comes with a lav mic, excellent quality. This is what we use for, honestly, before the Tentacles, for 100% of all of our things, always using the Tascam DR10Ls, especially the new Pro versions, which do 32-bit float and have a slightly better design. Now, as for backup sources of audio, we have the Sony Tx660. I actually just bought another one because Nate lost one of ours, but this is $100, and let me show you why I love it. First of all, it's incredibly small, okay? Look at this, that's it. It's this tiny little pencil-looking recorder. And it can literally has a little clip on the back. You can clip it into someone's pocket, lapel pocket, like right here, boom, it's in my pocket, and there you go. But the most common use we use for it is a backup that we have a mic sleeve attached to it for $20, and we put it on the actual handheld mic. That way they just hold the whole thing, the microphone and this, and they can talk, and it's a great, excellent source of backup audio. And I actually know filmmakers in the luxury market who only use these Sony Tx660s, and they put them everywhere. You can put them on the table, put them on a microphone, put them in the groom's pocket and the officiant's pocket, and they're super reliable. I think every filmmaker should have a Sony Tx660 in their kit in case one of your audio sources fail. It is essential whenever you're shooting a ceremony or any live event to always have multiple sources of audio for when audio fails, because it always will. There will always be a problem with one source, and you want to make sure you have backups for when that happens. Not in case it happens, for when it happens. Now, as for our main source of audio, we use the Zoom F3. This is the Zoom F3. It's very small, fits in the palm of my hand, and we graduated from the Zoom F6, which was probably twice the size, had triple the inputs, but just overkill for a wedding. Nate and I recently have really wanted to travel a lot more light, and so all of our gear has been a lot more small and compact. Has 2 inputs, 2 XLR inputs, and it shoots in 32-bit float. This is the thing we use for our main source of audio, almost always. And our last microphone that we almost really never use except for very intimate elopements where there's no sound system and we have to be far away is the DR10X. It's kind of like the Tascam DR10L Pro, and it's an XLR output, so you plug it into a handheld mic like this, and you just have people pass it around. Now, it doesn't project, it doesn't amplify anything, it just captures great audio at like an intimate dinner or reception where you need audio but you can't get close, and a lot of people are talking and you don't want to individually mic every single person. If you only have one mic, you don't want to like pause the speeches and say, just give me a second, I just need to mic the other person, especially if like their clothing isn't acceptable for a lav mic. This just says, hey, just pass this around at an open mic table. Now, that is it for all of our audio recorders. Next, I'm going to talk about all the audio accessories that are essential in our audio kit, starting with the Bumblebee Lav Concealers. Here it is. Now, the Bumblebee Lav Concealer is the new wave, right? Before, you used to always see this happening, which you can't really see now because I'm wearing a black jacket, but this lav mic is just clipped onto my coat. What the Bumblebee Lav Concealers do allows you to stick the mic into them, and then you can put the lav mic inside the coat hidden so no one will see it and it will still capture excellent audio, which is essential, especially on windy days where the wind is coming right at the groom and you don't want the audio to be messed up. This allows you to hide the mic inside the coat, be protected from the wind, and also has a little wire on the tip of it that's like an anti-rustler, so you won't hear the coat rustling up against the mic. And they're only like 10 or 15 bucks, so I would buy a few of these. Before we dive into the cables that you're always gonna want and need at every wedding, the first cable I would recommend buying is an XLR splitter. An XLR splitter is a male to 2 female end XLR and has saved our life at multiple weddings where the DJ only has one output. It's an XLR output, but he's using it for a different mic system, and so instead of having to, you know, do some bootlegged wiring thing on his speaker, we can just say, hey, can we split the audio into our recorder and into your board without any interference? And he's like, oh my gosh, that'd be great. That way we can split it. He still gets a feed, we still get a feed, and it's the crispest feed possible because it's coming directly out of his board. We use this often. This has been a lifesaver. It's like 20 bucks, and I would buy it 1,000 times over for the amount of times it saved our lives. The most common cables you'll need, and you need all 3 of these, are the XLR to XLR, the XLR to 1/4 inch, and the XLR to RCA. I would say that I use the XLR to XLR and the XLR to 1/4 inch. Depending on the DJ setup, those are always the 2 cables I always need. And then very rarely, more and more rarely nowadays, I feel like the XLR to RCA, it comes in handy. Now you can buy all 3 of these things separately on Amazon. I'll link all of them below. Or if you want to spend a little bit of extra money, you can invest in a full kit that includes all 3 of those cables in one beautiful pouch. This is from Condor Blue. Condor Blue is an incredible film gear site. I'm not sponsored by them. This is not an affiliateship with them. I have no ties to Condor Blue other than I believe in the products they make. And they just released an audio kit for wedding filmmakers that includes an XLR to XLR, an XLR to RCA, and an XLR to 1/4 inch, and it comes in this beautiful pouch. And this is in a collaboration with Matt Johnson, another famous wedding filmmaker, who said, you know what, I need a kit that just has them all. So Matt went to Condor Blue, they made this amazing pack, they sent me one, and I absolutely love it. And you get to see Matt's bearded face pretty much every single place you look, on all 4 zippers, on the pouch, on every single cable. I won't open all 3 pouches, but inside the pouches you have these beautiful blue cords. They're 6 feet long and they have all the ends you need. Also with audio cables, you tend to get what you pay for. Like a lens, there are cheap, crappy versions of audio cables and then expensive versions of audio cables that usually do a lot better and give you a cleaner feed. Condor Blue is one of those higher end versions that give you a much cleaner feed than maybe the Amazon Basics one will give you. Now, if you don't care a whole lot about that and you'd rather spend a few minutes cleaning audio than getting it better right out of the gate, then Amazon Basics will do you just fine. But in my opinion, if you're going to invest in your business, just start on the right foot. Better to just spend a little bit more once than to buy something cheap and have to rebuy the next expensive option later because you end up not liking it. So I would just jump the gun and buy this great kit. Absolutely love it. Okay, moving on to our last 2 accessories that I always bring to every wedding. One way more important than the other, and that is headphones. If you're not bringing headphones to a wedding, I truly don't know what you expect. It's like bringing your camera, but duct taping the monitor. If you can't see it, if you can't hear it, how do you know it's good? Audio requires you to manage the levels. Even for those of you who are using auto leveler, which I hope you're not, I hope you're setting your levels for the cleanest results possible, you want to bring headphones to listen to it. So we bought, and they don't need to be expensive headphones. These are $10 headphones from Amazon, and they work just fine. And the last piece of audio gear that is kind of more rare nowadays that we don't use very often is a bridal thigh strap. This strap, commonly used in reality TV, wraps around your bride's thigh, and the audio recorder goes into this pouch right here. And the wire goes up, clips onto her dress, and you can capture great audio from the bride. Now, less and less I use this. We're trying to become less and less intrusive on the day. If the situation calls for it, we'll do it, but usually through our other 5 sources of audio, the groom's lapel mic, the Sony Tx660, the officiant's lav mic, and our house F3 audio, we usually can capture great audio of the bride. And usually the effort it takes to go and mic the bride isn't a huge payoff. And anything that distracts the bride from truly enjoying her moment, to us, isn't worth it. So don't use this very often, but we do bring it for when duty calls. But you guys, that is it for our audio kit. And as you can see from me packing it here, it all fits very beautifully inside of our backpack. Now, if you want to see how we mic our grooms and we use audio, how we work with DJs, how we set our levels, all of the things that everyone should know about audio, we have that included in our online course, and we're doing a spring sale. You can get it for 50% off, and we'll put that link below. But you guys, that is it for our audio kit. If you have any questions about audio or audio gear, leave them in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing and supporting this channel. We have a lot more content on the way. And again, thank you for your support. We will see you in the next one.